Love how our class is getting nice and big. Okay, so our extra practice words from last week. We learned when E said E and when it says eh. And the rule was we tap two. If we tap the next two letters, if either one of the next two letters is another vowel, then the vowel that you are on will say its name. If not, it will make its regular short sound, eh. And remember, eh is said with your mouth open, kind of medium width. If it's open any bigger, your mouth will say ah. That's an A as an apple. If it's open really short, if it's just kind of small, then it will sound like an I, like itchy. I and eh are often confused. Eh, your mouth has to be open midway. Eh, as in elephant, exit, excited. So a lot of these are going to have the S sound, such as this one. Oh, fun fact time. This G. So we're already on fun fact time. Okay, so I'm going to even stop sharing so you can see me real well. So G's, you know how they make two sounds? They make the hard sound G and the soft sound J. Well, you might not know when they say which one. Well, I'm about to blow your mind. So the G will say G all of the time, unless the very next letter is an E, I, or Y. So out of the 26 letters of the alphabet, there are only 3 letters that can come after a G that will force it to say its soft sound, J. Every other time, all of those 23 other times, it's going to say G. So when you're coming to a word, if you're just in a panic and you're not sure what that G says, and if you have to guess, you're going to want to guess G, because that happens 90% of the time. But and if you have a second to think about it and figure it out, look at that next letter. If the next letter is an E, I, or Y, then that G is going to make it soft sound, J. So this first word is Jeft. Number 2 is Bremp. Number 3 is Klesep. Number 4 is Cheeteb. Number 5 is Dreamed. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. If you're wondering why that E says E or not E, put it in the chat and I'll go over it with you. Number 6 is Sheted. That one's almost a swear word. I had to be real careful on that one. Number 7 is Tree Nested. Number 8 is Plesemtred. If you're reading these, you guys are rock stars. Number 9 is Litendrem. 10 is Flempec. Are you able to do your extra practice work at home? And are you able to get it? Put in the chat how that extra practice is going. Going well. Nice. It's a little harder, but I got it. Nice. Can we do 9 slowly? Absolutely. We can do last week's 9. Got it good. Okay, not the best, but progress. Good job, Ben. Progress nonetheless. Okay, let me go over 9 real slow. Go on to the next lesson. We have some great things to learn today. Okay, so 9. Let me go over why. Yes, it is hard. You're right, Susan. These are hard words. Okay, so here is why 9 says Litendrem, because we circle the vowels. And Richard, you are brand new. There is a tap 2 video in the course right when you start to log in. If you haven't watched that yet, then that will get you caught up on this tap 2 rule. So we come to a vowel, we tap the next 2 letters. If either one of them is another vowel, like that one, then that first vowel will say its name, E. So that's why that E says E. This vowel, we tap 2, 1, 2. Nope, there's not another vowel there. So no, it's not going to say its name. It's going to say eh. This one we tap 2, 1, 2. No, there's not another vowel. No, it's not going to say its name. It's going to say eh. Now, the hard part is remembering all of the sounds as you go through the word. Am I right? I mean, you can do this part. You have brains. You can figure out what it says. The hard part is retaining in your remembrance all of the sounds when you get to the end, you still remember what the first sounds were. So here is the best reading hack to do that. Do the first 3 first. Late. You know that E says E because we marked it. And then we bring in the e. Li-te. Li-ten. D. Li-tend. Li-tender. Li-tendre. Li-tendrem. And that's why that word says li-tendrem. It's a hard one. They all are. That's why I get so excited when you get it. Okay, we're going to go to today's lesson. So let's start off with our phonemic awareness warm-up. How many sounds in teacher? Don't think about the letters in the word. You probably know how to spell it. Just think about the sounds. How many sounds only in teacher? Teacher has these sounds. T, E, ch, 4 sounds. 4 sounds in teacher. How did we do? We got a lot of 4s, a couple 3s, a couple 6s. Teacher has 4 sounds. T, E, ch, Good. Let's try the next one. Remember, we don't need perfection. We just need progress. So how many sounds in feather? It helps if you stretch it out. Feather. How many sounds? Put it in the chat. Okay. Thank you. Feather has Feather has 4 sounds. TH has 2 sounds, by the way. Another fun fact. TH has a voiceless sound, which is, and it has a voiced sound, which is, and it depends upon the letter that was before it. If the letter before it was voiced or had voice to it, like the then the letter after it, that TH is going to also make its voiced sound. That's why it's feather and not feather. How many sounds in toast? Toast. Toast has toast. 5 letters in the word, but 4 sounds, because that OA is its own grapheme. So it says O. Toast has 4 sounds. Nice. You guys are doing great at those. Those were hard. My last class right before you, I had some doozies. It was rough. This is probably the hardest thing that your brain is going to try to wrap itself around. Remember, according to the National Institutes of Health, the core and causal factor for reading struggles is not being able to hear. It's called phonemic awareness, not being able to hear, isolate, and discriminate between all of those sounds within a word. So when you can get this easier and easier, then reading itself will become easier and easier. Okay, so today we're going to learn the EE vowel team. So a vowel team is 2 letters that make 1 sound, and they typically follow the tap 2 rule. When you come to the first one, you tap the next 2 letters. If either one of those is another vowel, which it is in this case, then that first one is going to say its name. So EE says E. Now, before we go on, I want to teach you something. I want to teach you 2 things. Take a quick drink, excuse me. I'm going to slip out of the frame so you don't have to watch me drink. 1 second. Was I out of the frame? Or did you see me? Okay. So here's what I want to teach you. EE is the most, this is a spelling trick. EE is the most common way to spell the E sound in 1-syllable words. If it's a short word and it has the E sound, it's probably not going to have a silent E at the end. It's probably going to have the EE grapheme. The other option is an EA, and this is the second thing I wanted to teach you. And we are not going to learn the EA grapheme this month because, let me get my whiteboard out. Boy, is it complicated. So I'm just going to give you an overview right now about the EA grapheme. EA has 4 sounds. It can say E as in clean. I'll write that next to it actually. It can say E as in breath. It can say A as in great. And I don't even know how to introduce this last one. So it's also in the word heart, and every word that has to do with heart, it has its own little sound in there. Heart, heartache, heartthrob, hearth, hearty. You'll also see that EA in there. So EA is complicated. It's very common, especially this first one, for saying the E sound. But don't worry, it follows the tap 2 rule. When you get to that first E, tap the next 2 letters. One of those is another vowel. So yes, that E will make its long sound. It'll say its name, E. That's why that word is clean. That's the most common sound for EA. These others also happen, so I just wanted to introduce them to you. But EA typically will follow the tap 2 rule. Okay, so back to EE. EE is, this is an easy lesson, you guys. EE says E. And so we already know that we don't have to do a tap 2 when we get there. We're going to circle the whole grapheme, the whole vowel team, and we'll put a line above it, which means it says it's long sound, the E's long sound. This guy, we do have to figure out what he's going to say. So we're going to tap 2. 1, 2. Nope, there's not a vowel there. So no, it won't say its name. It'll say E. So when we pencil read this word, it's E, D, E, S, T, Edest. Edest. You try on your side. Go ahead and mark the vowels. Okay, so when we pencil read this word, it's E, T, E, M, P, E-temp. E-temp. And I am teaching you how to read nonsense words so that you can be comfortable reading unfamiliar words, unknown words, and you'll know how to attack them when they get there, when you get to an unknown word. You'll know how to read any word because you'll know the rules for reading them. So on this one, I'm going to mark the vowel team. I already know it's a reading hack. It's going to say E. I have to figure out this guy. So I'm going to tap 2, 1, 2. Nope, there's not another vowel there. So no, it's not going to say its name. It's going to say its regular E sound. So when I pencil read it, it's S, E, D, E, P. Steedep. Steedep. Your turn. Go ahead and mark your vowels. Okay, when we pencil read this word, it's P, O. Remember, when you say the P sound, you only say air. No us, it's not pa, O. When you say pa, that's 2 sounds. Get the off and only have air come out on your p. P, O, E, N, S, T, E, M. This one I'm going to read the slow way because there's a lot of sounds. Flee. Clean, cleans, cleanst, cleanste, cleanstem, cleanstem. How'd you do? How are you doing? Yeah? Okay. It gets easier. It gets easier, Richard. It gets easier. All right. Let's see. Okay, number 3. I'm going to mark my Deandra. I'm going to mark my vowels. The E is going to say E. This guy I have to tap 2. 1, 2. No, there's not another vowel. So no, it's not going to say its name. It's not going to say E. It's just going to say its regular sound like Eddie or elevator. So when I pencil read it, it's, oh, there's another one. I forgot that guy. Let's tap 2 on him. 1, 2. Yeah, there is another vowel there. So yeah, he does get to say its name, E. So this word is E, O, E, S, N, Elisten. Elisten. Let's try yours. This one I'm going to give you lots of time. Go nice and slow. I don't even want to try it until you're pretty confident. Take another second, make sure you have it. Okay, here we go. E, D, E, P, O, E, M. E, D, plem. E, D, plem. Yay, Adama, I see you're nodding your head. Yay. E, D, plem. Put in the chat how you're doing so I know what I can help you with. Put in the chat if this is easy, hard, okay. I love that, Carolina. Nice, Farah. It was hard before. Don't worry, we'll get it. In between, okay. Okay, yeah, so it sounds like this is good. Sounds like it's the instructional level, still a little bit of a challenge, but we're making progress a little bit at a time. Okay, I'm going to clear these so the page isn't so messy. And let me try this last one. I'm going to go nice and slow again. I'm going to mark my vowels. 2 E's is a reading hack. They say E, and they also follow the tap 2 rule. The first E, I'm going to tap 2. 1, 2. No, there's not another vowel. No, it's not going to say its name. It'll say E. And then this I already know says E. That's all I have to do. So I'm going to pencil read it. S, E, N, S, E, D. Now I'm going to stop there for a minute to tell you why we do that. Some reading methods will teach you to separate the syllables when you read a word. I'll tell you how to divide the syllables and then to read each syllable as a unit. And that's fine. That works too. This is kind of a shortcut to reading. And the reason we mark each sound, each grapheme, before you go to blend those sounds is so that your brain knows that you know what every single sound is going to say, what every single letter is going to say, what every vowel team or grapheme is going to say, so that it doesn't go into panic mode when you go to blend it. You already are, you know, you've gone through every single grapheme, you've said it out loud, you know what it's going to say. So when you go to blend it, it's just a matter of combining the sounds in the right order and making sure no L's, N's, or R's slip in or slip out. So I'm going to do this one, one letter, one grapheme at a time. Fra. That almost got me on that one. fre, friend, friends, friendst, friendsty, friendsteed, friendsteed. Okay, let's try yours, nice and slow. Okay, when we pencil read that word, it's p-o-e-m-f-r-e-d. Ple, plem, plemf, plemfer, plemfree, plemfreed, plemfreed. Will you put in the chat if you think you got that, or if no, you didn't quite get that one, so I can see how you did. Yay. Okay, a little bit of each. About half and half, actually. I would like for you to take the last few minutes and feel free to unmute yourself if you have a specific question, because if you have it, it's likely that other people have it too. Does anybody have a question, or what is hard for you that I can help you with the whole class?
I don't know how else to word this question other than, why did I think at first it said phlegm friend?
Over here, Plem Fred?
Yes. Or phlegm friend.
Oh, that's just because your brain automatically wants to put real words together. That's just what it's going to naturally do. Your brain is, when you say fre, it's going to want to complete that with friend. So I'm really, really challenging your brain to put aside all of its preconceived words that it already knows, and to force it to only apply the reading rules. So when you go to read any word, you will read it accurately without guessing. So that's why. It's because it naturally wants to go revert to words that it already is familiar with. And that's common. Everybody does that, including me. Like over here on fre, I said free because that's just what my brain wanted to do, right? So this is the challenging part. Anybody else have any questions that you feel like the whole class might benefit from the answer? Dama, did you have a question too?
Yeah, just like you go over each word. Sometimes I can say to myself, I don't feel like I'm pronouncing it right. And your other videos that you previously record, is there any way you came to do that with this one? So even we'll practice ourselves, we can see that if we say the words right.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. So are you asking me a question, or are you saying that that's helpful?
It's a question, and it's a suggestion at the same time too. Like when I read the words, I say it, but sometimes I guess myself if I said it right or not. So
okay.
If you can, videotape it like your other classes, and I can just double check it to make sure I'm saying it right.
Okay, I think I know what you mean. And since we have a private lesson, I want to dive deeper into that with you, so I make sure that I know what you mean. Because yes, if that will help, then yes, I want to do it. I just want to make sure that I do it the way that you are suggesting. And by the way, everybody, if you look in your chat, if you push the chat button, if you scroll to the top, I have now decided to open up a session for privates. If anybody wants a private lesson with me, then the link will always be up there at the top, and we can have 15-minute sessions with just individually. Okay, so let's think of some real words that have the EE, the EE grapheme minimum. Can you guys think of some? Put it in the chat if you can. Thank you. We have seed, sheet, treat. Oh, I like that. Esteem. Let me move my chat so I can see it better. Ooh, these are good ones. Creed, wheel. By the way, the WH in wheel is supposed to be pronounced with a wheel. A lot of people don't know that. Sheep. Nice. Jeep. Yes. So you'll notice that all of these are one syllable words except for esteem. So back to that fun fact at the very beginning, EE is the most common way to spell the E sound when you are spelling a one syllable word for like speech. EA is your second option. The only time you're going to see an E with a silent E at the end is usually in a name, like Steve or Pete. Oh, look at this one, agreement from Carolina. That's gorgeous. Nicely done, you guys. So here's how you apply it in the real world. Nice, Ben. And so for your extra practice at home, here are your extra practice words. Why isn't my mouse moving? Down here. We didn't really get a chance to go over those, but I will next time we meet. And if you want to stay after, I have a few minutes. If you want to unmute yourself, feel free. I am at your disposal to answer any questions that you have. And thanks for being amazing. You guys inspire me. We'll see you next time.